keep us safe. You told me to hold on tight.
Instead of having a set camera and angles that the creator wants you to go through, like film, video games allow you to immerse yourself in the world on your own accord. That's what makes this scene so compelling. The way video games can by themselves make the players filmmakers of their own to tell their story through their interaction with the game is what makes video games such a strong storytelling medium. Within the car, we can either turn to Tommy's and Joel's conversation or the carnage outside the window. However, when one is asked to make a game into a show, which reduces that player input down to full creative control from the filmmakers, how do you turn this scene into a scene with limited viewer control? Well, you can do it like this, or this.
Be careful.
I was born careful.
They're not regular arrows. Okay?
Both are indeed approaches to film form that can simulate the immersion of gameplay, but those are easily noticeable as just that, simulation. So what is the similarity between video games and film that allow for such a translation to exist? In 2022, Bardo was released, and what interested me about that film was the way the camera was used, holding longer than it normally would in a conventional film. It turns the camera from a subjective shot of a character looking down on something into becoming the character themselves. It's that subjectivity of turning the camera into character that allows film to approach a similar subjective experience to video games. Thus, notice the editing and direction in this scene.
Daddy,
We don't know.
They're saying it's a virus, some kind of parasite.
is it from terrorists?
We don't know.
Are we sick?
No, of course not.
Why did things blow up?
Whose viewpoint are we looking through to see Tommy and Joel talk? Throughout the pilot of The Last of Us, and even in the game, the first character we play as is Sarah, allowing us this more innocent and frankly defenseless position to view this new world as it crumbles around us. This establishment puts us headfirst into understanding the terror of the infection, except in the show, instead of having the luxury of world building where we can collect items and see backstory for ourselves, this show translates it into developing Sarah as a character, allowing us moments to understand who she is and immersing us in her world. Thus, when we are eventually, literally, put in the back seat to view the world in the car, we understand her fear and empathize with the character. Instead of focusing on what is not there, that being the gameplay, the show utilizes the strengths of film. What is removed in the show allows an incredible focus on the very essence of the scene. We only need to see key details from the game in the show to truly understand the direness of the situation. These moments allow us to focus on what really matters, even amidst its apocalyptic world building, the characters and the actors' performances. These are two very different subtle approaches. They are not one-for-one copies of each other, but they are both valid ways of telling the story of The Last of Us. The best adaptations aren't about copying a story. Anyone can copy a scene. But the best adaptations, the best translations, are able to transform the essence, message, and concept of a piece of art and translate it into another medium. Just like language, art is a language in and of itself. Thus, to truly understand and get something, we have to translate it into something to allow us to understand.